Good afternoon, Western Washington, and happy Sunday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and we've got a lot to talk about today with the current system moving through and the bomb cyclone and all of its impacts coming up from late Monday through Wednesday. So we're starting here with the current radar. You can see lots of showers moving onshore and moving through the area today. And you can also see a convergence zone starting to form right now here around 1 p.m. Over southern Whidbey Island and parts of Snohomish County. I'm taking a look at the satellite. You can see the front move through late last night, early this morning, and you can see all these post-frontal showers moving onto the coast and through the area. These will continue to impact us all the way through Monday, so we'll take a look at that here. Right now, this is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. And you can see here that if we go to this afternoon, you can see that convergence zone developing there, bringing some snow in the passes as well. That convergence zone continues, bringing some heavy snow at times to Stevens and Snoqualmie passes. And then you can see heavy showers still moving through the area tonight, and more convergence zone type bands. And one thing that you notice is some of these showers bring the snow level down a little bit and could potentially bring some snow pellets or potentially brief rain snow mix, as temperatures will be in the mid to upper 30s across the area, and a heavy shower can maybe bring those temperatures down to around 34 degrees or so, which can bring some rain snow mix. And you can see showers continue all the way through early Monday morning there. You can see some of those showers could have some potential brief rain snow mix in them, as you're seeing there on some of these forecasts. And then you can see as we go through Monday morning, the showers start to diminish in coverage, but we may have another potential convergence zone Monday afternoon. And you can see these showers Monday evening potentially moving across parts of the lowlands could have some very brief rain snow mix in them, but nothing notable. And you can see those showers finally start to diminish by the time we get to early Tuesday morning. Although we do have some that continue into the day Tuesday, but then you can see they start to diminish as the rain ahead of the bomb cyclone starts to move into the area with some mountain snow as well. Taking a look at total precipitation through Tuesday morning, you can see an additional ½ inch or so for areas from Skagit County southward. Those convergence zone bands will bring 3/4 of an inch to over an inch for the Everett and southern Whidbey and Camano Island areas and most of Snohomish County there. You can see showers that are enhanced between Olympia and Shelton and the coast could get 1 to 1.5 inches of rain in there, and then this will mainly be snow in the mountains. We'll take a look at that right here. You can see, ignore this lowland snow. That's not going to happen. If anything, you'll see some brief flakes, maybe a little bit of snow pellets, which some people call grapple. Snow pellets is the correct term. You could see some of that across the area, but I do not expect any actual accumulations of snow. However, take a look at the mountains here. You can see upwards of 15 to 18 inches potentially at the passes. This may be a little bit more localized than we're seeing here on this forecast, as it will be based on convergence zone bands. However, be prepared for winter driving conditions at any time over the next couple of days in the passes. And also note, with some lower snow levels possible, there could be an inch or two of snow, maybe along Highway 8 going north of the Capitol Forest there, out on the way to the coast, but I don't expect any significant lowland snow of any type. Maybe some brief snow between Grays Harbor and Olympia. We'll see. Stay tuned for more on that in tomorrow's video. Now let's take a look at the bomb cyclone. So as we go through, this is on the European model, we go through Tuesday morning, and you can see that storm rapidly deepening offshore. You can see it reaches its peak intensity almost directly west of Seattle there offshore at 944 millibars, just an extremely deep and strong low-pressure system for this area of the Pacific Ocean. And you can see as we go through early Wednesday, it starts to rapidly weaken by the afternoon there, and then it diminishes as it moves back off to the west. So this is a great post here from Tyler Hamilton. He's a meteorologist in British Columbia, and you can see he's talking about the criteria for a bomb cyclone is a 24 millibar drop of pressure in 24 hours, so basically dropping 1 millibar per hour. And the current forecast shows a drop of 59 millibars in 24 hours. So it's basically double the criteria. So that is pretty significant, and that shows how strong this storm offshore will be. Now taking a look at the European model, here I have this set at 8 p.m. Tuesday here, so you can see the low pressure offshore, higher pressure over eastern Washington, and a very strong pressure gradient over the Cascades there. This is usually measured in the pressure difference between Seattle and Wenatchee, and that is going to be around 14 to 15, maybe 16 millibars, which is a very strong pressure difference for that region, and that indicates a high potential of very strong gap winds. So this is the European model forecast for the gap winds, and you can see really it's going to be areas from Tacoma northward that are most impacted by this for the Puget Sound gap winds, and you can see Federal Way, Auburn, Kent, Renton, Bellevue, SeaTac, and Seattle, and then of course North Bend and Enumclaw. They're all gusting 45 plus miles per hour, potential for gusts of 50 to 55 miles an hour from I-5 eastward there, especially near SeaTac and Kent and Bellevue, and then foothill locations like Enumclaw and North Bend could potentially be gusting over 70 miles per hour. We're going to have to wait and see on that forecast exactly, and then you can see areas like Everett, Mount Vernon, Bellingham, Whidbey Island, all having offshore winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour. And then take a look at the strait, a reverse flow down the strait there with gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour, and then 45 to 50 mile an hour southerly gusts on the Washington coast. And you can see more offshore winds. There's another gap here to the south of Mount Rainier that will bring some gusts of 45 to 50 miles per hour for places like Toledo and some of the towns east of Chehalis there along mainly the US 12 corridor there in parts of Lewis and Pierce counties. So then taking a look at the NAM model, this is a higher resolution forecast. And you can see it does show much stronger winds. You can see starting here on the coast, it shows gusts. These will be southerly gusts there of 50 to 60 miles per hour, potentially up towards 70 miles an hour for Long Beach there. And then you can see gusts with that gap along US 12 there of 40 to 50 miles per hour, potentially 50 plus for Chehalis. You can see the area that is between the gaps here. That's really, you have the Stampede Gap here that's causing all these winds, and then this gap to the south of Mount Rainier, and this area around Tacoma is between these gaps, and that gap shadowed area kind of continues out toward Hood Canal. You can see that area is much calmer, Olympia gusting to 40 miles an hour, and then you can see the Stampede Gap is really going to be cranking with this storm. You can see basically areas from Tacoma northward. That includes like Federal Way, Auburn, the eastern lowland communities there, Covington, Enumclaw, Black Diamond, and then places like Des Moines, Kent, SeaTac, and then Seattle, potentially gusting 50 to 55 miles per hour, and then 60 plus in the foothills. Those 50 mile an hour gusts on the NAM basically go from Federal Way all the way to Bellingham, and those are all offshore gusts at 55 plus for Whidbey Island and then the Strait. And if this type of scenario were to verify, there would be a very, very large amount of power outages across the area because these winds are coming from a direction that is atypical to what we normally have. Typically, winds come onshore and follow that path that I'm showing right there on my clicker, with coming in off the coast and blowing northward up the lowlands. But these winds are coming over the mountains and through the mountains, really through those gaps, and then blowing to the northwest there. So it's basically the opposite of what we usually have, and that causes a lot of power outages because the trees are not used to that type of wind. So the other thing that's going on with this bomb cyclone is that there will be huge waves that it will generate because low pressure and strong winds generate big waves. So as we go through Sunday, you can see some elevated waves Sunday and Monday across the coast there and then offshore. But then take a look as we go into Tuesday as that bomb cyclone strengthens offshore. Take a look at these maximum wave heights here. By the time we get to Wednesday morning, and this will be elevated on Tuesday as well, by the time we get to Wednesday morning, we are looking at on Wednesday potentially having breaking waves just off the coast of 40 to 50 feet high, potentially upwards of 50 feet out here in the peak of the storm, maybe up to 60 plus feet out there in the open ocean. But this is going to cause some beach erosion, coastal flooding, very dangerous conditions along the coast. Huge logs will be moving large distances, sneaker waves, all of that. It could be very dangerous out there, but it will also be very interesting wave watching. So if you do go out there to watch those waves, and it will be quite a spectacle, do be prepared for the massive impacts that huge waves like this could cause. And you can see those do start to lessen by the time we get into early Thursday. So there's a lot coming up and there's a lot going on with this storm. So I thought it would be helpful to put out this graphic here. These are all 4 ways that you can follow me. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can join the Western Washington Weather Facebook group. You can follow me on Blue Sky, and you can follow me on X or Twitter there. And I'll put links to all of these in the description of this video below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and share these videos. Please subscribe with this storm coming up. This is the best way to stay informed and get all the latest updates. And I've seen an increase in subscribers lately. So stay tuned for the next video tomorrow. We'll talk in depth about the bomb cyclone and all the impacts that we could expect. And I will talk to you all then.